Right? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And this is episode 77. Rolled a quick audible to it if you heard us on the live, Instagram live. This episode we are actually gonna call the blame game. Right? So coming into it, a 42-21 loss to the Minnesota Vikings, dropping your Atlanta Falcons down to 6-7 on the season, 4-game losing streak. And the title of the episode changed strictly based off a press conference. Um, I've been pretty clear. And I make strong statements and I stand by them 100% of the time. Hey, early in the season, if you've been listening to ATL or if you've been listening to our picks, I was like, yo, the Jets got a bad defense. And it sounded crazy, but really, once we refined it down, it was really just the Jets defense didn't match the offense that they said they wanted to run. I make strong statements all the time. I think Will Levis is trash. I've been said that. My strong statement on this, that statement by Kirk Cousins, in my mind, was justification to start Michael Penix for the rest of the season. And I 100% stand by that. Like that's not the type of leader that you want. You can't go in saying, it was 21-21 when I left the field. And then by the time I got back, it's 35-21. Even if it's true. The thing is, I was fully prepared to come and argue with this man. I was fully prepared to come and argue with you, Taj, and cape for this man and be like, oh, we still in it. You know what I'm saying? But after I heard that, oh nah, bro, you good. You got it. I'm good on Cousins, bro. And they keep showing the swag surf after the Tampa Bay game. Like, nah, bro, I'm good on Cousins, dog. But Taj, what did you see on this game, bro?
I mean, it wasn't all bad for Kirk. There was positives, but this man is. I'll probably be becoming a bit redundant with this talking point here, but he has elevated our talent. However, he is holding everything back at the same time. Because I was talking to a couple of buddies, and one of them brought up an interesting talking point. My boy Luke, he said that Kirk is rarely ever on time. Like, he's late because whenever he does a hitch, it's always late, and it's led to a lot of turnovers. And like, since he's made me aware to that, I can't not see it. He's late on so many passes. And it's embarrassing, and his lack of mobility is kind of very damning to the team.
Now, when you say that late piece, that's interesting. I never thought about it as being late. I thought of it as like just indecisiveness, but I guess they go hand in hand, right? For me,
he'll pitch and then like.
Yeah, and then you let it go. So for me, it more so felt like not trusting the offense or everybody not being where they're supposed to be. I never thought about it from a late perspective, right? From like a timing perspective, because like I've seen him hit people in stride, but I've also seen him dirt some easy ones, right? And that could be a function of a guy was open and you waited and you didn't throw him open, you waited until he was open to throw it, right? So like I can definitely see that. Something that bothers me as we continue to go through this situation with Kirk is that I don't see him not starting probably the next 2 weeks, to be honest.
Oh yeah, he's going to start this week because Raheem is caping for him, and the only reason they caping for him is because it has to work this season because they paid him all this damn money.
Basically, I don't think people really understand that, right? So like people keep saying, oh, $90 million. Like his actual cash is $90 million, right? What Kirk Cousins means to your cap, if you were to cut him after this year, you would be paying Patrick Mahomes level money, Josh Allen level money to your quarterback room. Because if you cut Kirk Cousins, you still have to get a veteran backup quarterback for anywhere between $5 to $10 million.
Right.
Penix was the number 8 overall pick. He's cheap by NFL standards, but like he still makes $8 to $10 million. So that is anywhere from $13 to $20 million in just your quarterback room. And that's a really and that's trying to be as cheap as possible for your quarterback room and still having $40 to $45 million over the next 2 years in dead cap if you cut Kirk this year. That's $60 to $65 million in dead cap or in cap, a lot allocated to just the quarterback room. You feel what I'm saying? Like that is entirely tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't do it, right? I'm not saying don't do it, but I am saying you can't just do that willy-nilly, right?
Yeah, they definitely can't just do it without any type of plan because, like, I don't think
he has a no trade clause. And he has a no trade clause.
He has a no trade clause, but I do believe Kirk wants to play. So, like, if they approach him with the, hey, we're either going to bench you or you could waive this thing to go play somewhere else. He's probably going to waive it to go somewhere else.
Possibly, right? Like
if he wants to play, like you say he does, he's going to waive it to go somewhere else.
Yeah, he left his family, like he moved his family down here and whatnot.
I mean, his wife's from here, so it's like it wasn't that. Like her parents are here, she's from here, she grew up in like Alpharetta or something like that. So it's not that big of a move them coming down here. Them leaving, maybe a whole nother thing.
And you know, like with Purdy beat up on the Bears, right? Purdy beat up on the Bears, but Kyle has always loved Kirk Cousins. Yeah, going all the way back to his Washington days, right? Would that be because they're still not paying Purdy yet? Depending on how he ends out the season, they may not pay him. So you could afford Kirk Cousins. But like outside of San Fran, I don't see too many teams that could take that salary cap hit that would want him. That would want him.
Let me see.
And that's under the impression that you actually can trade and get rid of him. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it's very possible. Like possibilities. Possibly the Jets, maybe, because they're gonna move on from Aaron Rodgers. If they want to just get a quarterback in there, the Raiders are a possibility.
I think the Raiders are drafting a quarterback.
I mean, they could, but if they want to, set them down for a year or whatever, boom. Because I don't think Kirk could be very expensive to trade for, especially with him being 17 or 15. He's not going to be expensive.
He's not. He's not. And I had hella pushback from you last week. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead, finish. But I had hella pushback from you last week on like we paid $180 million for Ritter. But if you look comparatively at the stats,
it's just he got more yards. But I mean,
it's the
touchdowns and the turn. He's the touchdowns about the same, and he has more turnovers.
It's the Spider-Man meme, bro.
The Titans could also be an interesting team
because Will Levis is trash.
Yeah. So then when you go to the NFC, you could possibly look at the Giants, maybe seeing what they want to do. I doubt that one though. NFC North is great. They all got their quarterbacks. Yeah, it's really about like 3-4 teams.
And then, he knows the Shanahan system fairly well, depending on which coaches go where, you know what I'm saying? There's usually on average 6 head coaching vacancies in a coaching cycle. We already got the Bears, right? You already got the Bears, you already got the Jets.
Yeah.
So there may be 4 more. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now.
The Jaguars is probably one of them.
Jazz probably gonna be one.
Oh, the Saints.
Saints. There it goes. So that's 4 right there, and it's an average of 6. Might get 4, might get 4, might get 5, but either way, depending on who fills those vacancies, they may be looking for Kirk. Overall, I don't. This sounds crazy after saying what I was saying about like letting Penix start or whatnot. I don't want to get rid of him strictly for the cap implications.
No, I would rather him just be in the room or whatever. But I mean, if he don't want to be here, he don't want to be here.
Yeah, I have been in situations where my presence wasn't going to be healthy for the team because of who I was, right? So
that's facts.
I'm the man, I'm the guy, I know everything, and then they elevate someone over me. Well, now I'm not going to be helpful to the team.
I think that's kind of like part of what went on with the Giants and Daniel Jones, why he just went to request to be released because like they had this man being a scout team safety.
I'm not helpful to the team. Like I don't have an attitude. Jesus ain't worked on me enough to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still, my heart. He's still putting into it. I ain't good enough person to just take it lying down. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey man, I'm thoroughly disgusted by the showing that we had in the game. So let's get to the game. Kirk Cousins, 23 for 37, 344, 2 interceptions. Sam Darnold only threw for 3 more yards than Kirk Cousins.
And 5 more touchdowns and 2 less interceptions.
That's bananas, dog. Like, that's bananas, G. He threw for 3 more yards. And, like, 4 of those touchdowns were, like, just – or 2 of them really was just busted coverage type joints, right? So we talked about this on the live. You guys join the live because we be killing it on the live, bro. But what's his name? D. Alford had statistically.
I seen the stat line today. That shit's insane.
He had a 158.3 passing rating against.
For y'all that don't know, that's a perfect rating.
He statistically had the worst game in NFL history as a corner. That is not an exaggeration.
7 for 7, 4 touchdowns and like 130 or 40 yards.
He, like, statistically, if you look, he had the worst. And, like, as a fan, you're like, oh, he's getting toasted. Oh, he's having a bad game. He had the worst game in NFL history.
See, he wasn't toasted because, I like a little toast. Toast is edible. That was burnt to a crisp.
Yeah. Now, 2 of them. Let's get into it. Let's get into it because context. Okay. That's what we do.
So I'm going to go on the second major one, the one the Jettas. Because all 22 come out and the discourse on Twitter, and I've seen people trying to put it on Jesse Bates.
He yelled at Jesse. After the play.
But the thing is like when I'm looking at it, is if Jesse didn't react the way he reacted, then there was someone open on the other side. Because he took the crossover and the dude was going over. If Darnold just looks over there, he's going to throw it right over AJ's head and the dude could take over and run it. So either way it goes, it was bad. But like, I don't understand exactly what the coverage was, but it looked like a 3 deep. So D. Offer, why the hell weren't you deep?
Yeah, Justin closed that space quick.
Yeah, and then like, I don't think I've ever seen a DB panic that much open space.
Yeah, he did.
Like he just and then fell.
I tried to shoot him some bail, right? Because he did yell at Jesse right after. So for you guys who, just like not talking to you like stupid or whatnot, just technically sound, right? And when you're having deep thirds, right? You want your outside ones to get back as far as possible, right? Keep everything in front of you. And then either you're strong or free, take the middle. Justin Simmons has been getting torched. We got to talk about it. We going to get to it. But Justin Simmons has been bad in coverage. You know what I'm saying? Like the Broncos are looking smart for letting him go. So what I perceived on that play was Jesse was sort of in a robber coverage rather than a deep third coverage, right? He was kind of playing middle field. He guessed, and as the corner getting back, he assumed that Jesse was going to be in the middle of the field and that Jettas wouldn't run toward the middle of the field with Jesse there and would take a post corner route, right? First off, Justin Jefferson is an elite receiver. He closed that space immediately. And then, like you said, he panicked, bro. He did. He panicked. He lost his feet. I guess in his mind, he was like, he's going to run a corner. I'm supposed to be deep third. Let me get back toward the pylon. And then he saw, oh shit, nobody's in the middle of the field, and tried to turn around and fix it. It looked bad. It looked bad. It looked like a breakdown in coverage, very similar to the Lions game last year, right? And so I struggle really putting that one on fully on him, but it did. You're right. It looked terrible.
But like I also feel like because it was a 6-man coverage. Like they had him. Darnold really just made a great play because the pressure was there and he escaped.
Both touchdowns. So here's the crazy part. I don't know what happens to our back end during blitz or pressure situations. Like, I don't know if we're not finding people, we're not sticking people.
It depends on what the coverage is, but like typically you want them to plaster in those situations.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns came off of Darnold being heavily pressured.
Well, okay, the first one's a little more forgivable than the second one because like he got hit, the ball got hit, and the ball kind of died, and they just kind of it worked out in his favor because they lost the ball because the ball went short.
Mm-hmm.
Dude came up under it. Mike Hughes or whoever it was out there, like, where's the ball? Oh shit, damn.
And he went around, touchdown, right? Like that's tough. There's nothing you can really do there. I can't really put that on you, right? First quarter, they go down, they score a touchdown. Algier gets in. Algier looked like he was going to be a huge part in controlling the game. Bijan is having a special season. Let's not lose that. Let's not lose that in anywhere. And we just going to take a quick second. What's time? We're doing great on time. Let's take a quick second. Bijan is having an amazing season, right? 92 yards.
977 yards on the season, rushing 8 touchdowns. And he has like another 4 receiving,
and almost 300 or 400 yards, right?
No, hold on, let me pull it up. Receiving, he has another 400 yards receiving.
Yeah, I know he was like at 1,300. So what's that together? That's almost 1,400.
He's about a carry or 2 away from 14.
Like 1,400, 12 touchdowns, and we still got 4 games to go. Bijan is having Saquon doing crazy things, right? Saquon doing record shit. All right, cool. Bijan easily Pro Bowl back this year. He is having an amazing season. And so with that, I have seen Algier's usage kind of go down, right? It's expected, especially when like Bijan is showing he could be a workhorse. He can carry you through the tackles. He could be thunder and lightning. So like he's showing why that Doak Walker award is sitting on his mantle. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of fans want to be like, oh, he's a luxury pick, blah, blah, blah. Nah, bro. Like Bijan is clearly one of them ones. And there's a great chance he might end the season with, what you think, 1,200 yards rushing, 500 receiving.
About 1,700 total. 17 to 1,800 yards on the season is admirable.
With 14 touchdowns, that's bananas, bro. Like that's like don't get desensitized to how amazing of a season that is, bro. Like
because like to put it in perspective, he's already past what he did last year.
Yeah.
He has 1 more carry and 1 more yard and 4 more touchdowns.
He's having and Arthur Smith did lean on Algier a bit more last year, right? To the detriment of people saying, like, why is Bijan not getting the ball That like me and you came on here week after week talking about Bijan not getting the ball in red zone situations, right? That has not been the case this year. They're using him. He is a workhorse. It's been fun to watch. He's having an amazing season. Want to give him his flowers. Kyle Pitts is having, I can't call it a terrible season, but it's not a good one, right? Definitely not a great one to be having in a contract year.
It's not a contract year. It's next year.
He's on it. He's in his 4th year.
They accepted the 5th-year option.
Yeah, but
it's not a
contract. At the end of the 5th-year option.
I get what you're saying, but the contract year is typically the year before you're a free agent. He's not a free agent next year, so it's not a contract year.
You want to sign at the end of this year.
Q, I get what you're saying, but let's not overcomplicate it for our viewers.
All right, fine. Yeah, for the technical span of it, next year is his contract year. But what you want to do is sign him at the end. You wanted him to have a good season, so you could sign him at the end of next season. The fifth year, he's getting paid for that, right? And he's a tight end. I don't know what his number is.
It's like $10 million, I believe.
I was about to say, I can't imagine it's more than 12. I can't imagine. He was the 4th pick in the draft, so like that shoots his number up a little bit.
Well, not actually, because the 5th-year options was really dependent on performance and position, I believe. What position?
Yeah. But he did have a Pro Bowl. He did have a Pro Bowl within his first contract. So I can't imagine that number is more than 12, right? But you wanted to get him somewhere between 10 and 13 a year, sign him for 5 years, and just spread that number out, right?
Well, okay.
What's up?
So, go ahead.
And have it really like sign him for 4 years, 5 years, really have it be a 3-year deal. You can have it out. You know what I'm saying? He gets a good sum of money up front. He gets about 30 to 35 million up front. You get his services for 3 solid years, maybe a 4th year, depending on if it's a dummy one or not. And by that time, you're making decisions on Drake, 2nd contract. You're making decisions on your quarterbacks, 2nd contract. It lines up. That's what you wanted to see this year. There's no way you feel comfortable paying Kyle Pitts after this season. He has to play on that next year.
I wouldn't feel uncomfortable with it because Zach Robinson has to learn how to use him.
This is true. This is true.
You see, next year, his cap hit is $10,800,000. But if they were to re-sign Kyle Pitts after this season, I wouldn't be upset with it.
That number is going to be disgusting for everybody involved if they re-signed him after this season.
I think you can get him for just do it. You can get him for a very fair contract.
No, I think they signed him 4 for 36.
Yeah, that's good.
That's terrible. That's terrible for him. Like that's terrible.
I mean, yeah, for him, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Now, I do have my issues with Kyle Pitts. You know what? Some of this comes like to effort and effort and sometimes what you might seem lazy routes, but I don't look at those as lazy routes. Kyle Pitts, he's a player that you have to get engaged in the game. You got to know your players. Get him involved early because
he had 5 targets, all in. Only 1 came before the 4th quarter.
Yeah. So like with Pitts, right? How frustrated would you be if you keep on beating your person in coverage and the ball just never comes to you? It's like, well,
I'm not a good enough player to handle that because, like, I never got to play tight end. Like in organized football, I only got to play tight end on the church league, so that's my time to show out. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm beating you like a drum, and I'm not getting the ball, I'm coming back to the huddle, head up, hands on hips, rolling my eyes as you trying to talk through the next play. And before last one to lead the huddle, hey, bro, you know I'm open. Yeah. Hey, bro, you know I'm open, right?
So it's like I do think that is something that Pitts needs to work on, but like you got to know your players. You got if you know the type of talent he is, get him involved in the game plan. like some players are okay with not getting the ball early. Some people, you have to pull them into the game so you get the best version. Know who's on your team. Whether or not he be here after his contract ends, that doesn't matter. Work with what you got right now. Now, this game here was not a good receiving game for him. But I am encouraged because this is the first time in a number of games where he played the majority of the snaps. He played 62 out of 70 snaps. And he was blocking very, very well.
Super engaged blocking.
So he was engaged in the run game. Because like I'm seeing the clips, he was active. He was hitting his marks. There was even a touchdown. Bijan ran right off of him. Like what I saw from him in the run game was very encouraging. And I like the fact that I think this is the first time since like week 1 that we've seen 2 tight ends on the field.
Yeah. 12 personnel has been just a mystery this season.
Yeah, so I like that.
Especially considering our quarterback has been so turnover prone. The idea of putting in big personnel, running off either side, or really honing in on your play action by having 2 tight ends on the field. I don't know why we haven't gone back to it. But one of the things that you said coming into the season is that they love running 11 personnel and then making everything look the same off of that. Like that's a staple of this offense, right? And so like it is a little foreign to running with 2 tight ends on the field.
No, yeah, and that is true. However, but like one thing I was not a big fan of is like constantly swapping out Kyle Pitts and Warner. It's a tell because if Kyle Pitts ain't on the field, they're running. So you have to run the ball with Kyle Pitts on the field to make them not be able to load up because Kyle Pitts on the field, they're probably gonna pass.
Now I will say up until it got out of hand, up until the third quarter, with the fumble and whatnot, our ratio on run to pass was like 52-48.
Yeah, I'm happy with what the offense is giving us. Like, is this the turnover and then speaking of penalties, this was a nasty game.
This was the most
stat. We were the most penalized. We gave up the most yards and penalties to any team in the league on Sunday. But we free yards, whether negative or positive, but we gave up too many yards on penalties. Now people want to say, this team's undisciplined. It's not an undisciplined team because before this game we were ranked 5th in penalties. Yes, we have annoying penalties at the worst time, but we're not a heavily penalized team. So that one game dropped us from 5 to 12.
Oof. This game was nasty work. This game was nasty work on him.
I've never seen a holding called on a field goal attempt before.
I've never seen that. I know it exists. Because I
didn't even know it exists because I've never heard it before.
They were talking through it on the broadcast, so I'm like, okay, this is like apparently.
Look, a lot of times these folks don't know what they be talking to.
I've never seen that. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of a defensive holding on a field goal kick. I
might have heard it on the off, but I've never heard it on
every time.
And then to even go deeper on penalties, every starter on the O-line had a penalty. Whether it was legit or not, it doesn't matter. They called it. But the offense itself, considering Minnesota was the number 1 team versus the run, we ran the ball very effectively.
What was 125, 130 yards?
Bijan had 90, and I think Algier had 50. So
yeah, 140 yards. Honestly, and once again, I can say this and not have the feeling that I have that Kirk shouldn't be starting again. He left the field at 21-21. They scored 11 points. It was 21-21. You wasn't really stopping them like that. So they go down the field, they score a touchdown. All right, cool, right? It's 21-21. They go down the field, score a touchdown. Jordan Addison gets a touchdown. You fumble on the kickoff, and they score again. I get that. How much time do you think was left in the game when Kirk got the ball back?
Like 11 minutes.
It was like 8 minutes. It was like 8 minutes when he got the ball back. 35-21. I thought it was 11, but it was like 8 minutes, right? What did you proceed to do?
Throw another pick.
You threw another pick. So I can't hear about, bro. I can't hear about, oh, it's 21-21 when I left the field. I don't care, bro. Because when you had your opportunity, you threw a pick. You threw us out of the game.
Yeah.
You threw us out of the game. So, like, miss me with that, bro. If I'm being honest, my hopes for this team are starting to diminish to the point to where I'm cool with starting Penix for the rest of the year, because if we go into the playoffs with this team, we're ransacked in round one.
Oh, but okay, so I might be on my own, but it's like I don't care ransacked. I still want to the playoffs. Like we ain't been to the playoffs since 2017.
I get that.
It's been 7 years.
And Styles make fight.
I don't care if we go in there and get slaughtered. I'm happy that it's progress. We made it.
Yeah. And Styles make fights, depending on who we get in the first round. Like, to be honest with you, our first round opponent might be if we win the division, which is looking like kind of our only path in, unless Washington really fumbles up.
Yeah, it's a couple. If we beat Washington, like we have to, at absolute worst, go 3-1.
Honestly, we need to go 4-0.
We need to, but the Falcons are gonna Falcon. That's why I said 3-1.
Yeah, 9 wins. I don't know if 9 wins get you in the NFC, bro.
It probably will, because we don't. Because the thing is, like, let's pull up the Commanders schedule, right? Because that would be the only team, because that's the only available spot. Everyone else has 10 wins. 10. Well, the Packers have 9 wins, but Minnesota's 11, Detroit's 12, then everyone else is division one.
So you got Detroit is the 1 seed. You got
Philly 2,
Seahawks 3rd,
3,
Bucks 4,
and then
Vikings 5,
Minnesota, Packers, and then Commanders. And then we should be the next team in line.
Yeah. No, the next team in line is the Rams.
Okay, well, and we don't have any common opponents, I don't think. We'll probably have common opponents, but
who do we have? And our common opponent, the Saints?
Probably. So Commander. Oh, okay. So the Commanders, their last 4 games, they have the Saints this week, they have the Eagles next week, they have us that week, and then they have NC on the Cowboys. The Commanders could very well go 2-2 or 3 or 1-3.
1-3. That's real possible.
So, like,
if they end up 9-8 with a loss to us, we're in. But that's assuming, because we also we have to look at the Rams schedule. But the Rams could win the division. So the Cardinals,
but
like the whole NFC West has 2 games against each other in these last 4 weeks.
Yeah, but if it goes down to pushing the Seahawks down, we lost to the Seahawks.
True. And that means the Seahawks only need to win 1 more game and they're in over us. That's why I'm saying, like, we really gotta win out. You know what I'm saying? Like, to still have hope.
I really feel like that we should, because it's like it's gonna be a Falcons thing to do. We're going to win enough games to be like, oh, we finished the season strong.
I think we have the ability to end the season, and strongly I believe this. We have the ability to end the season 7-10 or 10-7. Like, we have the ability to lose to the Raiders Monday night, start Penix the other 3 games of the season, and just focus on his growth and development. And if we lose those games, cool. If we don't, cool. And we end the season 7-10. Or we have the ability to win Monday night, Kirk goes out. Here's the thing that I know for a fact in my soul, bro. The Raiders are so bad that Kirk can have another terrible game. We still win that game, and he's starting for us the next week.
If he has another bad game, like win or not, they're like, because like Raheem, I get it. It's the financial investment, but at some point, hey, look, businesses take losses. Sometimes you got to take that loss on the chin and just keep it going.
I think. All right, so let's get into next week versus the Raiders, right? So if we're looking at the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, who are clearly in the Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes. It's not tampering, but god dang, it's close, bro.
I don't know if you saw the video. Dion was at some,
and he was like, Sanders boys. I said, God.
Yeah, he was like, "What are you at?" I'm just like,
like it ain't tampering, but Jesus, like
because I've also seen something from another podcast where dude pretty much said that Dion's not letting him go to New York. He's not letting Shedeur go to New York. So.
Nah. So the Raiders are currently on a 9-game losing streak, right? Baker had 2 interceptions and a fumble, and they still won by 15 points, right? Like everybody think, they played the Chiefs tough. It was just a miss. The Chiefs play everybody close. They lost by almost. They lost by 10 points to Denver. They lost by 15 to the Dolphins. They lost by 20 damn near to the Bengals. They lost by 21 to the Steelers. They are on a historically bad run right now. The Raiders are a bad team, right? There's a world in which Kirk has a game where he has another 2 turnovers and 1 touchdown, first touchdown that he's thrown in a month, and we win that game by 12 points, right? Koo was able to knock down some kicks. We didn't give him no shout out, no props when we was going over the game. Koo was making his kicks, right? 2 field goals, good shit, bro. But back to the Raiders. There's a world we could win that game by like 12 points, and I promise you on everything I love, Kirk will be starting the next week.
Yeah.
Because until we're out of it, he's going to be the quarterback. Until we're truly well and good out of it, he's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah, whether he puts it up or whatever, but yeah.
And so like let's go through the remaining part of our schedule. Usually, guys, I know I get what's up?
Kirk ain't threw a touchdown since the election.
I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. Yeah.
He ain't threw a touchdown still.
Yeah. It's crazy how that happened.
Wow.
I'm just saying,
that just pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. I'm smiling, but I'm very upset.
Like that's crazy work, bro. That's crazy work.
And for reference, the election was November 5th.
Like
his last touchdown was November 3rd.
When I tell you, bro, like I usually don't like playing that game as well. But truly, if you take out the Tampa games, Kirk has had a terrible fucking season, bro. Them Tampa games is the only thing holding you up right now.
Because he's been average as everyone else.
Like, so here's the thing. The Raiders are absolutely terrible. The Giants are also absolutely terrible. So there's a world where we're 8-7 in 2 weeks, right? The Commanders is a super tough game. The Panthers is now a hard game. We have to accept that.
Yeah, the Panthers is good football.
Huh?
They've been playing good football.
Yeah, the Panthers is not like this is a real team. This is going to be a hard game. There's a world we can go 2-2 down the stretch, right? In the season 8-9. I have us going 10-7 on the season, so I want us to 4-game win streak. But I think realistically, 3-1. Where does that put us? We do not control our destiny anymore. We're fully on the helm of everybody else. Now, it depends on who those losses are to. Losing to the Raiders actually doesn't kill us, right? I know it will make everybody feel bad, but losing to the Raiders doesn't actually kill us.
Yeah, I think it's fork at that point.
Losing to the Commanders ends our season. Crazily enough, losing to the Panthers doesn't actually kill us. So, like, if we were to win 3 games and then lose to the Panthers, yes, it's another NFC. Yes, it's a division loss. Yes, it's an NFC loss. The Buccaneers can't have a better division record than us. It's not possible, right? So
they would have to lose.
That's the thing. They would need to lose a game. They are one. Hold on, my fault.
Like the ideal situation for Tampa to lose, I don't know, like out of the next 3 games, for Tampa to drop 2 of them and us to win. If they go 1-2 and we go 2-1, we're in. Because week 18 don't matter.
Oh, they can have a better record than us. Yeah, they can have a better record than us.
But we're going to be on the tiebreakers.
We beat them on the tiebreakers, but they can have a better division record than us.
They can?
Yeah. So they can. Oh no! They can be 4. They can be 4-2. They can be 4-2. That's the best they can do. Yeah. Never mind. They can be 4-2.
Yeah, because what are we? We only got 1 division loss.
Yeah, we're 4-1. So
yeah, and we swept them. So yeah, all we got to do theoretically is if they go 1-2. I mean 2-1. 1-2, and we go 2-1. I think because we have the same record, or we'll be 1 up at that point. Yeah, we'll be 1 up if that happens. If we can get it to where we're up 1 game, week 18 doesn't matter.
It doesn't. They have
these next 3 games are especially important.
They have the Chargers, which is a tough game. They have the Cowboys, which is a tough game.
Okay, because they're playing tough, and they're fighting for pride at this point.
Yeah,
and that's dangerous.
So like, there's a world where the Bucks could lose both of those games, right? There's a world where that could happen.
Yeah, and then they end the season with Panthers and Saints.
But I hate being in this position where we're hoping against hope for somebody else's team.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. But like, if we can get them to drop 2 in a row and we go 2-0,
the Raiders has to happen. The Giants has to happen.
Yeah, those have. If they drop both of those, and I think if they drop both of those and we win both of ours, I think that's it, ain't it?
No, because if we lose to the Commanders, that's another NFC loss, and they would be 9.
But it's like we own tiebreakers over there for the division though, because it's going to go divisional record first, tiebreakers, and then the other shit.
Yeah. So if they were to win versus the Panthers, then they would be 8-7, or they'd be 8-8. And if we were to win 2, and lose 1, we'd be 8-8. Yeah, nah. Honestly, if we win the next 2 games and they lose the next 2 games, that's it.
So because they go 7-8 and we go 8-7. Even we still need 3 wins, but this is ugly.
It's close. Right, like it's not a great place to be.
Because like I was having a conversation with somebody, and like I didn't want him to be right, because he was like he said this about like a month ago. He said, "Oh, without a doubt, this season, the playoffs is going up to week 18." I said, "No, it's not. We gonna cost us the playoffs." Yeah, about that.
He said it a month ago. Hey, boy, that nigga need to be giving out lottery numbers, bro. Like straight, you be giving out lottery numbers, bro. You wasting talent. Like, all right, real quick, because I do this, but we got sidetracked. Giving out the Raiders coaching staff. You got Antonio Pierce, obviously head coach, former player. He's been on a couple coaching staffs, but mainly he was on John Gruden's staff. You got Marvin Lewis, longtime head coach.
I didn't know he was there.
Yeah, he's just like a assistant head coach. He doesn't have like a true position. Interim offensive coordinator, Scott Turner.
Ain't that Norv Turner's son?
Yes. So they're gonna try to run the ball. They have
the run game is horrible.
Huh?
The run game is horrible.
Yeah, they're gonna try to run the ball. They have by far the best rookie of this class. Brock Bowers, UGA alum, is a dog, bro. Like that man is something different. You understand me? Like
he's top 5 in receiving yards.
He's top 5 in receiving yards. He's leading all tight ends in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. All tight ends. I didn't say rookie tight ends. All tight ends. This man is going bananas this season. This is rookie year. He is, boy, he's something special. Wide receivers, Edgar Bennett. You got Joe Philbin on the staff. So, he's got some ex-head coaches. This one I love. Guess who their running back coach is?
Who?
Old Foe from Tampa Bay. He was a running back for Tampa Bay. Had a very, very peculiar nickname. Cadillac Williams, bro.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't.
Cadillac Williams is their running back coach. So I love how on both sides of the ball they got ex-head coaches and they got a mix of players and ex-head coaches. Norv Turner is on the staff, but he's just like an advisor. They got Mike Caldwell and Gerald Alexander on safeties, run game. They got Andre Carter as a pass rush specialist. He's really a players type of coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got players all up and down this coaching staff. Rob Ryan's on the staff as well, right? So, like,
I did not know Rob Ryan was there. Okay,
but these are just more assistants and consultants, right? So you've got a bunch of knowledge and personnel around that team. Honestly, I do think they might build something special. This just isn't. They don't have a quarterback. Now, I say that to say, if Ritter drops 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown on us with no picks, we might have to scrap. We might have to scrap, dog. Like, we might just
flowery wings. Don't worry about it.
Hey, we might have to scrap. Bro. Side note, close out with this because we're going just a little bit over on time. EJ on Jettis. Slick. Strapped him up.
Slick.
Strapped him up.
Straight jacket.
And so you texted me after his first touchdown and was like, who was on him? But you was like, that's a decision.
Yeah, D offered.
Was it D offered? Yeah, damn, it was D offered. You was like, offered on Jettis in the red zone was a decision. It was a choice. And I was like, nah, it looked like they was communicating and whatnot. As you look on the tape, nah, it was one of the few times we was in man coverage. Yeah, I don't understand not having your best corner travel when they're lighting you up like that. But
no, what they did is they started motioning him. They started motioning him to get it on Ray J.
And like, we have a lot of zone concepts, right? So like, you're never gonna truly just match up man on a guy
because it's a tail at that point.
Yeah, so like, I get it. It's just, I wanted to see that matchup more. It looked like AJ was getting the best of him, but hell, everybody else was getting the best of everybody else. So You guys, we're not in a great place, but the division is still alive.
Yeah, we ain't dead yet.
We ain't dead yet, right? Follow us on all social platforms, BOAF Media. I updated all of our platforms and whatnot, so I took out the dots in between BOAF Media. So if you're looking it up, that's all you got to type in, BOAF Media, and you should get to our YouTube, our TikTok, our Instagram, all those. Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. Apparently, we have fans overseas. You guys, we love y'all. Keep tuning in. Keep tuning in as much as possible. Yeah. So this has been your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
We out.
Peace.